The news summary, good evening. This week, the National Assembly is sitting for 4 days. Until Friday, the members will discuss on one subject only, the final report of the Truth, Reconciliation and National Unity Commission, which was presented to the President in March this year.
This morning, two former commissioners, Michael Green and Marie-Thérèse Purvis, presented a brief overview of their work in the final report to the National Assembly. In his presentation, Mr. Green recalled the reason for which the commission was created. One of the topics that came up often during the debate was what the report called a successor body. The report suggests the creation of such a body which will take over in order to complete the many remaining tasks. This includes the reparation issue. There are also a lot of administrative tasks to pursue, including transcription and translation, amongst others.
The Constitutional Court declared that they would like to see whether the complaint filed against the Republic, the Defense Forces, and the police by Mukesh Valabji deserves to be heard. This is in relation to the abuse that, according to Mukesh, he has suffered since his arrest. However, the Supreme Court is continuing with the case of illegal possession of weapons and prevention of terrorism against the 5 accused.
It was this afternoon that the trial of illegal possession of weapons and prevention against terrorism against Mukesh Valabji, Laura Valabji, Leslie Benoiton, Leopold Payette, and Frank Marie resumed. Yesterday afternoon, the first defendant, Mukesh Valabji, did not appear before the court as his wife Laura informed the court that an order made by the Chief Justice had not been followed. This order allowed the couple to have at least 1 hour per day to prepare for their defense. The court called on the prosecution to make every effort to ensure that the prison service obtains a copy of the order and to note that court orders are not negotiable. Meanwhile, this afternoon, the second prosecution witness, a police officer who presented an album of 192 photos, completed his testimony after appearing in court for more than 2 weeks. As for this morning, in one of the most recent cases brought by Mukesh Valabji before the Constitutional Court, there is a complaint against the Republic, the Defense Forces and the police. In this petition, the lawyer, Samantha Aglaé, representing Mukesh Valabji, describes in detail the mistreatment, according to her, that has been inflicted on her client since his arrest approximately 2 years ago. She compared this situation to torture when civil, human and political rights are violated. The last time this case was mentioned in court, the representative of the Attorney General's office, Muhammad Saili, made a preliminary objection saying that this case had exceeded the time limit of 3 months granted to inform the judge. Mrs. Aglaé also drew the attention of the judge to the fact that the prosecutor's office should not represent all 3 defendants in this case and at the same time be on the side of the court, even if it is not directly involved. Regarding the 3 months deadline, the 3 judges in charge of the case decided to first consider the merits of the complaint before making a final decision.
With more and more youths implicated in serious wrongdoings, the Seychelles Prison Services is getting the youth offenders prison on Praslin ready in the eventuality that one of the 20 or so cases currently in court are convicted time in prison. 80% of the work started earlier in March have completed, with minor security work and installation remaining to do. The commissioner of the Seychelles prison, Raymond Saint-Ange, says his staff and that of Education and Social Affairs are expected to start moving in by August, and the facility should be operational by September.
The approach is an all-inclusive approach where we're working with education to try and get these youth back onto the road where they can succeed and get out of life of crime. That's very important because we cannot afford to throw anybody away. And one of the projects we do with existing inmates when they're convicted, let's say they're in prison for 5-6 years, who's been taking care of their home while they're away? Well, all the times their home is abused. So we also have this project where we for those inmates that approach us and are compliant, we help them prepare their home to reintegrate back into society. So we have a couple of projects on Mahe that we've done this, and we're about to do one on Praslin, and we use low-risk inmates with volunteers and donations to get the home ready. Rather we do that than have the inmate come out, go to something that he doesn't have anymore, where he feels disadvantaged or under pressure, and he does something silly, or she does something silly.
A team from the ABSA Group Limited are in the country to familiarize themselves with the local market. The group took the opportunity to meet with President Weber Ramkalawan this afternoon to discuss how ABSA Group can give more support to the development of the country. The chairman of ABSA, Selo Moloko, says that he is conducting visits to all countries on the African continent where ABSA operates.
Get to know the island of Seychelles, get to know where the island is heading to in terms of its own growth plans, in terms of its ambition as a nation, and how we can play a role as ABSA in ensuring that we become a part of this growth journey. The engagement with the president was really around the plans for the country and how we as a financial institution can play a role in ensuring that the country achieves its objectives. So the topics range from a number of things around sustainability, financial inclusion, our role in the development of human capital in the country. We did indicate the role that we can play also in the development of infrastructure. We are very satisfied with the progress that we're making as an institution in Seychelles. We're quite comfortable with the management team. We certainly, obviously, need to address the issue of human capital development around skills, etc. And we're looking at ways in which we could play a role in ensuring that we continue to develop skills in the banking space in Seychelles. So that was part of the discussion that we had with the president. We as ABSA are here for the long term, and we obviously would like to see an economy that grows. And in the process, we grow with the economy.
Bye for now.